So good morning to everybody. I'm Phil Evans. I'm the Managing Director of Salon Guru. I'll let the team from Kin Connect introduce themselves before I get started.
Good morning, everybody. Great to see lots of our members here this morning and lots of people that are new and that we haven't met before. So my name's Carolyn Sweeney. I'm from Kin Connect, and we're a members club and we look after business needs. So the presentation that you may have been sent from last week was all looking at the three important financial figures that are needed right now from the autumn budget that we need to be ahead of in by April. So if you haven't watched it, please do. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact us. We have a discovery call that you can find out all about us. But so really looking forward to this morning, Phil, and looking forward to working with some of you in the future. So great, Phil. Looking forward to it.
Thank you. Right, so I'm the Managing Director of Salon Guru, and on this course now, I know we've got quite a few of our clients here, as well as people that don't know myself or Salon Guru. So I'm going to try and cover a lot very quickly, but there will be a recording, and I'm really encourage anybody to ask questions as we go, or drop me an email afterwards, because I love talking to salon owners. I've been doing it for a long time. So Salon Guru now is a team of 24 people. We're based in the UK, the US, and Europe. I actually live in Spain. We only work in the salon and clinic industry, so hair, beauty, salons, and aesthetic clinics. We have about 230 clients worldwide, everywhere where they speak English. So Australia, Canada, Malta, all over the world. And there are some maps I'm going to come to on our website. You can see where our clients are. These are the range of services we provide. So we started 18 years ago producing websites, and that has naturally led us into things like local search, search engine optimization, Google profiles, advertising on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, blog writing, client emails, recruitment, all of these things that you can do online, things to help a salon or business to grow. These are the things we now do. And I'm going to touch on quite a few of these today. On our website, which is salonguru.net, you'll see a client page and there's an interactive map. This is the UK and Ireland. You can click on any one of these dots, you can zoom in, you can visit their website, you can find out a lot more about them. But every kind of salon, from big groups to in fact, down to one person, we've now got quite a few chair renters. So we've got every kind of salon size, every kind of salon and clinic business. And there's the map for the US. Again, interactive on our website if you want to know more. So that's just a quick introduction to Salon Guru. There's a lot about us. We've done this a long time. We are the biggest salon and clinic website company in the world providing digital marketing. Nobody's done it for as many people or as long as we have. So what I want to talk about today, because 18 years of doing this and 200 plus salons, our real expertise, our main job is to give our clients more clients. That's what we're here for. A website's purpose is to give you more clients, and everything else we do, which I'm going to go into quite a bit of detail, but I think there's a lot of problems in the industry and in other industries at the moment with financial pressures caused by government actions, caused by the war in Ukraine, by changes in energy prices. There are an enormous amount of financial pressures. So last week's webinar from Kin Connect was all about looking at the costs and how you can manage those. This is about generating new income, because I think that's a really important part of dealing with financial pressures. Have a really ambitious, aggressive plan for growth, because this is doable. We've done this time and time and time again around the world. We can show you how to get 100% more new clients in a relatively short period of time. So I'm going to go through that now. All the way through this presentation, I keep talking about know your numbers, because if you don't know how busy your website is or where they're coming from, it's like not understanding how well your staff are doing. So it's a really key part of what we do with all of our clients is know your numbers, and I'm going to show you where and how you get those. So once you know your numbers, set some targets. If you really want to double your number of new clients, let's start planning how and when you're going to do that with some targets and then specific actions that you're going to follow to make that happen, and in the order of importance, because I'm going to show you some things that work really well and some that you perhaps won't do for another 12 months or so, because they're a long way down the list. But it's all about doubling those number of new clients coming to your salon. This is I don't know if you've ever come across one of these. It's called a funnel, and it's basically describing how an awful lot of people at the top can come to your business, whether that's your website or an event. You might be attracting thousands of low-level prospects. And I'm going to cover how we do that in a minute. But when you think about how a client finds you, whether it's walking past your salon, whether it's getting an email from you, whether it's seeing you on social media or finding you on Google, these are low-level prospects. These are people who really haven't yet got an interest, but they're coming to your website. So the first part I'm going to talk about is doubling the number of these people. If we can get a much wider, bigger catchment area, audience, group of people looking at you, that will feed through to more clients. So we're going to start at the top. We're going to talk about feeding twice the number, 3 times the number of people into your business to find out more. And this is going from mass marketing at the top, high volume, low quality, tens of thousands of people. And as I go through it, I'm going to explain how we work towards more intelligent marketing, which is a lower spend, but more quality. So let's jump in and let's look at, these are some examples. And I could show you 200 of these, but I wanted you to show you what's important when it comes to people finding you, finding your business. So I've chosen some almost at random. So Liverpool, this is a salon in Liverpool, a single location salon. They're getting 8,700 visitors a month on their website. And there's the split. Google search, which is typing something into your phone, your computer, and up comes the search results. Google search going through to your website, 45% of all of their web traffic was coming from Google search. Then their Google profile. Now, your Google profile is not the same as your website. Your Google profile is your business listing that everybody's got, and often people overlook. For most of our clients, it's running about the 30% of all their traffic is coming from their Google profile, around 45 to 65 coming from Google search. So straight away, we're looking at 70, 80% coming from Google. So if we're going to put things in order and deal with the things that are most important and will have the biggest effect, you start at the top with the biggest number, Google search. And I'm going to touch on that in a minute. So Google search for all of our clients will be the number one thing. Normally the Google profile will follow that as the second most important generator of potential clients to your business. Direct are people clicking a link in an email or a text message that you've sent to them. So that's an important part, again, of the traffic coming to your website you're going to be generating through the emails that you're sending out, through the text messages you're sending out, but still nowhere near the size of Google. Then there are other websites that link to you. That always produces 3 or 4% because you'll be listed on business directories and other websites. But socials, typically 2 to 3% will generate that number of people coming to your website. So if you're going to do things in the right order, Google your website, Google your profile, then all your emailing. And if you do them, meta adverts. So those previous 4 examples here are all somebody that these salons are not currently running meta adverts, Facebook and Instagram. As soon as you put meta adverts into the mix, obviously the story changes. This is a 2-location salon in Tampa, specializing in hair extensions. We're running a big Facebook campaign for them at the moment. So obviously Google search and Google profile are still really important, but another big thing thrown into the mix is meta adverts. We do a lot of advertising on Meta. They are a great way to bring a lot of people, new people, to your business, to your website, to an understanding of you. So those are the typical mixes and therefore define the order that you should approach things. If you're looking at doubling your number of new clients, the first thing we're going to do is double the number of people coming to your shop window, your website, because that's what your website is. It's a shop window on the world. It's a chance where people are going to go. If they come across you on TikTok or Instagram, they're more likely to then go to your website afterwards. Where are you? What are your opening times? What's your phone number? What's your prices? Let me have a look at the salon. So your website is often the first buying decision location that people will go to when they come across you on social media. So we're going to start with Google search because that, looking at all those graphs previously, those pie charts, it is by far the most important number generator of new clients to your business. So here, Google search comes first. Google profiles I'll then touch on second. Direct emails and links I'm not going to cover today because I'm talking about new clients and you sending out emails to clients or it's text messages don't fit within the kind of new client. So I'm going to then jump to online advertising. The three key ways to bring people to your business. And it's going back to this idea again, this idea of doubling the number of people that are coming to your business. And then we're going to look at more at how you qualify them, how you convert them into a client. But starting point is getting more people to come to your website, to your business. So Google, the number one thing, Google search, your website for all of our clients for 20 odd years, somewhere between 45 and 70% of all of their traffic, therefore all the new clients are going to be coming from Google search. So for all of our clients, our number one aim is to totally dominate Google search. We want your salon, your clinic to be coming up at least in the top three, ideally number one, for phrase after phrase after phrase, whether it's best salon, top salon, balayage prices, balayage before and after, dermal fillers, lash extensions, fat freezing, whatever your phrases are, and there should be hundreds of them, you want to be in the top three or ideally number one. This is the one big thing to do to make a dramatic and quick impact on your business. Get your Google rank sorted so that your website is appearing in the top three for nearly all the phrases. And you do that. If you go and look at all of our websites, you'll see what we do. We create really good content. So if you want to be number one in London for balayage, you need a great page about balayage, what it is, how it works, frequently asked questions, pricing, videos, before and afters, a massive information, because first of all, you're trying to persuade Google. Before you're trying to persuade the client, you're first trying to persuade Google. This is the best page about balayage in London. Now that takes some doing, but we've done this time and time again, where you write such good content that Google sees it as being very authoritative, and it gives it the number one spot. But it's also good for clients because you're creating really meaningful pages with lots of information. If you wander through our websites, you'll find masses of information. There'll be a page about balayage, but also color correction, color trends, the newest color, which I think is a caramel chocolate. So content, pages, posts, information. That's the most important thing for Google. And if you really want to delve further into this, a great starting point, in fact, the starting point, go to our website, salonguru.net. There's a button in the top right-hand corner to get a free Google rank report. We'll do that for you for free. We'll show you for 100 or 150 phrases where your salon ranks in your town or your city or your area, and possibly in competition, shows you some competition as well. So you can see how well your business is doing in terms of the most important thing, which is Google search. Here's a couple of examples just to show you. So I did have 20 examples in here. I'm not going to do that now. I've just got two, because time and time and time again, we can show you the same kind of examples. And if you want somewhere close to where your salon's located, if you want one in Scotland or New Zealand, wherever you are, tell us. We've got examples and we can show you. This one is Hair Creations in Dublin, 2 salons, launched 2 years ago. They had 30 phrases at number one on Google. They've now got 105. So that's trebled the phrases in 2 years, sitting at the top of Google, which has meant that their web traffic is up 89%. So close to a doubling of their web traffic. And that is really typical. If you sort your SEO out, if you sort your website out, you can produce 100% increase in web traffic, really straightforward. Because if all of these phrases are improving, best salon, top salon, balayage, if every phrase is getting close to the top of Google, you're going to get a lot more traffic. And if your website tells a better story, because that's the other part of having a new website, if your website really sells your business, you're going to get a lot of clients. So this is the first part of that, building a flow of potential clients by getting to the top of Google. Here's another example. This is Comas in, I think it says Taunton, but I actually think they're in Exeter. Single salon, launched again 2 years ago. And you can see from the numbers there, 82% increase in traffic, but they've gone from 1,300 people a month to 2,300. That's 1,000 people a month extra. So when you're talking about a big step change in number of new clients, if you're getting 1,000 extra people on your website every month, that's your answer. Sorting out your SEO, sorting out your website will be the biggest part of this and produce the biggest increase in people visiting your website. So number one was Google search. I'm going to come on to this in a minute. Number one was Google search, which is about 40 to 50% of all your traffic and clients. And the plan is to completely dominate Google search with really great content. If you want to see what's good, search for in your town, I don't know, balayage prices. See which website comes up first. See why. We'll have a look at the page they've created. Any service you can think of, any service that you provide, have a look at how other businesses in your town or city rank and perform, and then see how you do. And the bit at the bottom is the plan to fix this. If you know that, okay, Google is the number one thing, Google is where I'm going to get a lot of my new clients, your plan is, first of all, know your web traffic. So many of the salons I talk to, and I'll say how many people are on your website each month, they don't know. They don't know. And it's really, really important that you do know your web traffic. And also then your your search rank results. And I've told you that on our website, there's a free rank report. So we'll do this for you. Understand where your website and your business sits in your town for best salon or dermal fillers or any of the other phrases. So get your search rank from us and then constantly plan content changes and additions. The only way this is going to get better is if you have a plan for it. So if you have a plan to say, right, extensions, hair extensions are the most important thing for me, and I'm number 15 at the moment, right? So the first thing I'm going to do is revisit the hair extensions page, put a lot more information into it, before and after pictures, videos, information about different hair types, fixing methods. So have a plan for better content and just keep doing it. Next month, you could be doing color correction. Next month could be fat freeze, dermal fillers, cryo pens, whatever subject, whatever phrase you're not ranking well enough, have a plan to do it better. Just keep doing it. This is what we've done for 20 years. This is how we get salons with, I mean, the one in Tampa, he has 217 phrases at number one on Google. He totally dominates Tampa and Florida for all the salon phrases, which brings enormous traffic. So this is the route that you're going to follow. All of the people here today, I hope in 12 months' time, you'll look back and go, my rank is so much better because I listened to Phil and I had a plan. I identified what I needed to do and I just got on with it. Because that's what it is. It's not rocket science. It's get on with it. So that's Google search. That was the first thing that produces the biggest numbers. But the second thing is also Google, and it's your profile. So often overlooked by most salons. It should be around 30% of all your traffic to your website, which is about 30% of all your new clients. And again, like on the SEO for your website, know your numbers. So find out, and I'm not going to give you a lesson now on how to do it. It's on our website or talk to us. You can see how many people are phoning from your Google profile, are clicking for directions, are clicking through to your website, and how does that compare to last year? So know your numbers, and it's shown there, profile views, calls, directions, web visits, all the key numbers that show people are interacting with your Google profile. Know what they are. They could be good, they could be appalling. They're probably going to be somewhere between the two. Not good enough. Then have a plan to improve them. So know your rank for all of these things. So just like your website could be number one in Chester for balayage, where does your Google profile appear for balayage prices, balayage salon in Chester? It's the same idea. You check your numbers, you check your rank, and then you make plans and additions to make changes. We do this all the time. We do this. We manage the Google profiles for about 20 odd salons, I think now. So we do this on a day-to-day basis, manage the traffic, look at the numbers, plan some changes, and then revisit. These are some typical GBP results, but you should should have a plan for this. Just like you should have a plan for Google search in your website, which is all about content, you need a plan for your profile and start with knowing your numbers. If you don't know if it's 100 or 100,000, you don't know what kind of level of improvement we're going to aim at. These show some really incredible numbers that salons we've been working for. I mean, the number of profile views up 156%. This was over about all of these 6-month period. Website visits up 65%. We're really big numbers. And if we're looking at this 100% increase in new clients, and we've already said sorting your website would be the biggest thing, and this is the second biggest thing, 30% of all new clients, you can see you can get dramatic changes on your Google profile. It just takes a bit of work. And it's not rocket science. This is what we do. And it's on our website. Go to our website and look under the Google Profile Management Service. When we manage a salon or clinic's profile, the first thing we do in month one is a big audit to make sure everything on the profile is correct and 100% as good as it can be. Great descriptions, great services, great categories, everything. Once we've done that, we then start, we call the weekly TLC, with a tender loving care for the profile. We constantly tweak it, add things. I mean, obviously reviews are important, but also posts on the profile, pictures on the profile, information. Because Google, just like with a website, Google's trying to decide which of these websites in Chester is the best for balayage. So it looks at the content. It does the same with the profile. How do I know which of all these salons' profiles should appear at the number one on the map for Chester for balayage? And it will do it by looking at videos, the information, the categories, the services, the description, the same kind of thing as a website. So with your Google profile, plan like with your website to have a constant rolling program of change, or come to somebody like us, the experts in doing this. But that's two of the three things now. Google your website, Google your profile. So the third big one was emails you send to clients, emails and text messages. So we're not going to look at that because we're talking about new clients today. So that big generator of traffic to your website is primarily existing clients. So the fourth one is the online adverts. Now, we do a lot of online advertising. Facebook and Instagram can be a complete waste of time for many salons. I don't think you posting Mary's new haircut on a Monday morning is going to produce you many new clients. But doing an advert, carefully targeted with great imagery to women who don't know you, or men, depending on what services you're offering, can be an enormous way to bring, a massive way to bring lots of people to your website and get new clients. We do this all the time. So if you're doing online advertising, and I'm initially going to talk about Facebook and Instagram rather than Google, you can target people by, so if we're doing an advert on Facebook and Instagram, I can just target by age. So if I'm doing a color advert, I'll often do women up to 35, women 35 plus, and use different imagery so that the younger women see younger hairstyles, the older women see older hairstyles. But you can also do by gender. So obviously if you're doing perhaps hair loss, hair removal, if you're doing waxing and hair removal, you can do a set of imagery and adverts for men that is very different from women. So make your advert target specific by age, by gender. But you can also do things like by affluency, by money. So the salons in Florida, we target the most affluent postcodes in Florida because their extensions start at a minimum of $1,000. So we're looking for people who've got the right level of spending, right level of income, so we can target by that by looking at affluent zip codes. Or you can do a radius of the salon. So when I'm doing the adverts for Monaco in Tampa, I'll do all of these things. I'll run different advert sets based on different things because what I'm looking for is which ones perform the best. Because I could just stick an advert out for every woman under 35 in Florida, but that's very broad, very wide reach, and we don't know if they've got the right income or the right interest. So use targeting. It is the way to unlock better clients because you can target those that have got the right amount of spending money and may be interested in what you're selling. Because you can also target things by interests like hair loss. So if you were launching a new service of hair loss, perhaps toppers, perhaps mesh systems, you can target women or men with different adverts who've already shown an interest in hair loss or wigs or toupees or thinning hair. So you can do it by, you can target by their interest groups. So online advertising as a way to reach better people is the biggest step forward. If you're not already a client, I would suggest the first two things we've talked about should be your number one priorities for now. Sort out your website and its SEO, sort out your Google profile and the traffic from that. But if you're a client of Salon Guru, you'll be doing that already because this is what we do for a living. We work to get your website and your profile to the top of Google. So the next big thing for all our clients is this idea of cleverer advertising. Now, one of the things we've moved on to when we're doing the advertising, we talked about number one, which is driving all this extra traffic to your website. Number two on this list is you've driven these thousands of people to your website with great SEO, possibly with some advertising, with the better Google profiles. So all these people are coming to your website. So the next thing to now do, and we've been doing this about 2 years, a thing called remind and retarget. So people come to your website and they visit the hair extensions page because your SEO is so good that within miles, you're number one for all the hair extension phrases. So you get a lot of traffic to the SEO for the hair extensions page. So the first thing we do is called retargeting adverts. Identify on your website all of the important audiences. Hair extensions would be one of them. If you're an aesthetic clinic, it could be anti-aging skin treatments. So the people that visit your website from all of these reasons we've already talked about, SEO, Google profile, if they visit certain specific pages that are related, put them into an audience automatically. We do this all the time. So somebody going to the Voodoo website in Liverpool and visiting the extensions page will go into their extensions audience. That means you're gathering a number of people who've already shown the first level of interest. They've been on your website. They've been on the right page. They're interested in hair extensions or anti-aging facial treatments, Botox, fillers. So if you create an audience on your website, it then means later you can retarget those people with an advert. So you run an advert on Facebook and Instagram, but rather than now 10,000 women across the whole of Liverpool for hair extensions, no, it's 500 women who've already been on your website and looked at the extensions page. So you're driving down the cost of the big advert spend by focusing more in on people who've already shown a level of interest. People who've been on your website for all these different services have an audience and remind them. Or retarget them is the right phrase. You're retargeting people who've already shown a level of interest. Now, reminding is slightly different. This is another thing we've done for 2 years. They come to your website and you persuade them to sign up for something. It could be an offer. Many of our salons will run a new client offer. When you get them to sign up for them, we then do automated email and text message reminders. So this is this idea of all of your marketing, wherever possible, we're trying to get it to be automated. So they come to your website, they go into an audience automatically. They will see retarget adverts automatically. You haven't got to do anything. We haven't got to do anything. Just by visiting the hair extensions page, they've gone into the audience, they'll see a reminder advert afterwards. And if we can get them to sign up for something, a free extensions guide or an offer, we can then do reminder emails, 3, 4, 5, 6 emails or text messages. So it's this idea of not just bringing twice as many people to your website, but then being clever about those people. Let's not lose them. We've managed to bring 2,000 women to the hair extensions page. Let's retarget them because those 2,000 women have showed a level 1 interest. Show them adverts. If we can get them to sign up for something, let's remind them through emails and text messages. Because the whole idea is to be clever about this, to bring more people, but also sharpen up what we do when they get there. When they arrive at the website, we want to chase these people. This is all about chasing people to convert them. And the final thing I'm going to come on to in a minute is using AI to build these audiences further. So to recap, we've done step 1, which is Google. Google website, Google profile, bring a lot more people to your website. Tell a better story when they get there. Improve your website. But that's the first thing. Bring twice as many, 3 times as many people to your website. Tell a better story. When they come to the website, put them into audiences, depending on where they've been, what they've looked at, and do retargeting adverts, which are really low cost, and they constantly see reminders. It's like if you go and look at cars, you'll see adverts for cars for the rest of the week. This is the same thing. Facebook knows they've been on the extensions page, they've been on the Botox page. Remind them with gentle adverts over the next couple of weeks. And then the final one is use AI, which I'm going to come on to. So going back to that funnel I showed at the beginning, which is the large number of people arriving and then how they go through becoming more qualified, showing more interest. So I said at the beginning, what we're going to do is double your number of visitors. Let's double the number of people coming to your website. Because if you do that, you're likely to get double the number of new clients if we do a good job. But the next thing we then do is retarget them. So do adverts based on the things they looked at. Then chase a sign up of some kind. Try and get them to sign up for an offer or a free extensions guide or a guide to looking after aging skin. Try and get a reason for them to fill in their details and sign up, because then you can do reminder emails and text messages. So not only we double the visits at the top, we then made the whole process sharper, more focused on getting them to make that booking. And this is what we call the automated client engine we launched last year. Many of our salons are running this. They're running these reminders and retargets with great results. Because this is the reason we did it. For many of our clients, we were spending a lot of money on Meta, on Facebook and Instagram to bring lots of new clients to the door. And I'll use an example. Voodoo in Liverpool, their new client offer at one point, we were probably spending, I think, about $200 a day, because it was bringing a lot of people to their website. And about 2 years ago, we decided to work hard to reduce that. So before this automated client engine, before we did all the reminders, the retargeting, we just basically spent a lot of money on Meta adverts. And it used to cost them £8.64 for each new client acquisition, because they come to the website, they sign up for the voucher, they use that when they go in the salon. It's a 50% off color voucher. So we were able to track how much are we spending, how many people are coming, how many are signing up, how many of those get used. So 41% of the vouchers used to get used at a cost of $8.64. Since we've introduced this automation of reminder emails, retargeting adverts, 80%, 87% of the vouchers get used. And the cost per client has more than halved. So this is another part of the pattern we're aiming at. We want to widen the funnel to bring a lot more people in, but then we want to get cleverer and cleverer and cleverer, so the cost per acquisition goes down by actually showing more adverts as reminders to people. Don't do the 40,000 women in Liverpool. Do the 2,000 that were on the page recently in the last 3 months. So this is all part of being cleverer about where you go with the advertising. And salons that have been with us for 10 years, they're already at this stage. Many of our clients are at this stage now. They've got the adverts, they've got the great website, they're now pushing down the cost per acquisition. And these are colour clients. If you can get a colour client for £4 in your salon. Last week, on average, Voodoo do £4,500 a week on their new client offer. Last week, they did 3,600 in January without spending. In fact, the only thing they spent on adverts was the £72 for the reminder adverts, because it's a smaller group of people who've been on the website, looked at the offer. That's the only advert spend, just a low-cost advert spend to remind. So £3,600 with income for an advert spend of £72. So was the reason for doing the automated client engine. Here's a little bit more on how it works. So people coming to the website, whether it's from search, email, social media, however they arrive at you, and we're going to try and double that, put them into an audience based on what they were looking for. And this can be aesthetic or hair. So you're building these audiences. And those audiences are then used for reminder adverts, whatever the services are. This is a great way to give yourself better marketing over the next 12 and 18 months and 2 years, because constantly you're building audience that are already showing the first level of interest. So we also encourage people to sign up either for an offer or for a download. And again, chasing. We're chasing them with emails, with SMS messages, all automated. None of us have to do anything once it's been set up. Somebody signing up for the new client offer will get an immediate voucher via email. We'll get a reminder in 5 days via email. We'll get a text message, a reminder, an email, a text message. These are the things that pushed us up to 80%, 87% usage. So that's the automated client engine. It's running for many of our salons now, and they're using it in different ways. I mean, Afrotherapy in London, we're doing a lot of work on their audiences, because they do treatments and colour and services for people with mixed hair and different ethnicities. Their audiences are really important, because it's not every woman in London that's going to go to Afrotherapy. So defining your audiences and making them cleverer over time, so that the people you're talking to are much more likely to be the people who are going to buy from you and the ones who'll spend more money. So Afrotherapy in London, Blondies in Columbus, in Indiana, we're doing a facial offer with retargeting. So we're using these um, all over the UK and all over America with great effect. This is sharpening up on your audiences and sharpening up your targeting. And there's that Voodoo example. Last year, £4,500 a week, and then last week, 3,645, and $77 spend on adverts on Meta. These are the automated reminders just to show you that this is a back-end part of the system this is for Afrotherapy, and they've got 3 different sign-ups. All of those are getting automated emails and messages. So a complete back-end control system for you. Most of our clients never look at these things, but they're there. If you wanted to go and see how many emails went out as reminders yesterday, I can see they're all listed, how many opened them. So this isn't the idea being an automated system, a hands-off system where a client arriving at your website, everything is then looked after. They'll see reminders, they'll sign up, they'll get reminder emails and text messages. So we're constantly pushing them towards that booking with automated processes. So that was the reason for doing it all. That was this big improvement in numbers. So we've talked about doubling the number of people coming to your website, and now we're talking about halving the amount each one of those costs. Drive down the advertising spend by driving up everything else, how effective you are, how well your system is all put together. So the last part of this, we've done drive a lot of traffic. We've done the reminding and retargeting to drive down the cost. Don't spend more money on adverts, do it cleverer. The next big thing for many of our more advanced clients now, where we're using AI for better audiences. So I mentioned Afrotherapy and their need to target possibly different ethnicities, different groups of women. So spending a lot of time running adverts to small ad sets. And when I say an ad set, it could be, I've got an ad set for women under 25 in that town, another ad set for women under 25 in a different affluency area, possibly more money. So you're running different ad sets, each with a slightly different mix of settings, because we want to see which one will give you the most conversions, the most sign-ups. Because if we keep working on this for 12 months, you're driving down the cost of the clients because you're constantly looking for which group of people are most likely to come and spend the money. So you're always looking at the number of sign-up conversions and the number of people that are coming into Salon. And we're constantly looking to revisit those targeting and change them. Clever targeting in. Particularly, I think for aesthetic clinics, this is important. People who buy anti-aging face treatments are possibly not going to be the same that are looking at the fat freezing and fat loss. So it's important to get your audiences defined that work with you as a business. And it's something that we can help on. We do this all the time, understanding audiences. And then you can move things like lookalike audiences. So if you've got a group of clients that are coming to you time in and time out, those clients, your existing clients, you can upload them to Meta as a list of names and emails. Say, these are my clients. That's an audience. That's an audience that comes and spends a lot of money with me. Now make a lookalike audience. So Meta, using its enormous power of AI, will give you another group of women. You can set the delimiters, age group, distance from Salon, another group of women that it thinks are very similar to your clients. So that struggle of how do I reach the right kind of woman that will come to my salon and spend a lot of money, use your existing clients, upload them to Facebook as an audience, then ask Facebook and Instagram to create a lookalike audience, women like my women, customers like my customers. And suddenly you're tapping into another vein of a potential audience that can help you towards that doubling of new clients. So I think I've covered most of it that I was going to cover. I'm hoping we've got some questions, but I think the key takeaways from today are always know your numbers. If you don't know your numbers, you're blind. So first of all, start with numbers. Know your web traffic and its sources. Where did they come from? If you got 5,000 visitors last month, how many came from a link in an email you sent? How many came from Facebook, Instagram, Google, etc.? So know your traffic sources, know your Google rank, and you can get that for free from our website. Then plan some auto retarget adverts on your audiences. you've got these people visiting your website, that's the first thing you should be doing, retargeting them, and encourage sign up so you can do the reminder emails. Anybody that'll give you their details, you can do automated reminders and keep building your audiences because in 2 years' time, that's where your enormous value will come from. That's why our clients have been able to not just double the number of new clients, but half how much each one cost, taking it down to £4 a time. And then the final bit, bright yellow, do it constantly. A website shouldn't be something you do every 5 years. It should be something you do every 5 days. You really should be thinking about what you're doing online constantly. And then these kind of improvements are done. We do this all the time. Right, so I've covered a lot. So hopefully, possibly, there may be some questions. Yes, go.
There was a question that came up on the chat, which is a great question. What's the difference between the business profile and the map pack?
Same thing. They just keep changing the name. Over the years, it's been called the Google's profile, Google Business Listing, Google My Business, Google Map Pack, called the same thing. Basically, it's a bit like a Facebook page. It's like you've got a page for your business, you've got a Google profile for your business. It's linked to the physical location. So if you've got two salons, you'll have two profiles. And if you're stuck on ownership, which so many people get stuck on, send me an email. I'll tell you how to unravel the mystery of how do I get a profile that I can't get access to. It takes a bit of work, but it can be done. We do it all the time.
That's brilliant. And also, as King Connect, we often talk about being the expert in curly hair or hair extensions. So it was really useful you going through the hair extension side of it. Is it better to have a particular page dedicated to that particular service, or can you add it onto one page that says specialist service, if that makes sense?
That's how important it is. If it was something like wolf cut, okay, we're talking about hair salons again, a wolf cut. It's a useful thing to have on your website because it's been a trend recently, but it doesn't deserve a page of its own. So probably on your cutting and styling page, where you might talk about various things, you might have some of the latest cuts in there, undercuts and other. And I'm not a hairdresser, so use some of the smaller searched items as part of a page. But a big thing like balayage probably deserves a page of its own. And the same when you're for an aesthetic clinic, does your anti-aging facial treatment have its own page, or does it go on a page with many other? It's a fine line. Be careful not to make your pages too big, but if it's a really important service to you, have a page for it. If it could produce you a lot of money for you, then having a page of its own means you're more likely to get to number one.
Brilliant, thank you. Do you want me to go through the chats, the questions on the
If you
chat?
could do, that'd be wonderful. Yeah.
How often should we post on a business page?
Probably twice a week. I think that's what my team suggest, and mix it up. First of all, chase reviews. Always try and get more reviews. There's a link on your profile that you click, and it gives you a URL that you can copy, make it into a QR code, put it on your reception. Perhaps do a little incentive for your team. Whoever gets the most reviews in today. Well, I saw a really good idea from one salon on behind reception. It said, you can't incentivize the client to leave you a review. That goes against Google policy. But they said every review we get, we will give £2 to the stylist. So you're not incentivizing it, but they loved it because they were helping the stylist. The stylist loved it because they're getting, so that's a really good idea. Give £2. So they have to name the stylist in the review. And the stylist automatically earns £2. So try these tricks. Getting more reviews is really important, but constant drip feed of decent, good content, images, small amount of text, twice a week.
Brilliant. Thank you. And also on the chat, how do you get your salon name on the Google map? I noticed some businesses come up on the map. I've noticed that as well. Some come up on the map and some come up underneath.
Yeah. So the top three are normally the first thing that appears, especially on your mobile phone. If you're not in the top three, you're kind of invisible because you have to click the more button, which opens another page. Then you get a big map with lots of them. So really, you want to be top three. You want to be top three for all of your more important phrases, whether that's balayage prices or best salon or salon reviews. And the trouble is with Google profiles, it's very much about the distance. So if you stand outside your salon door, you're likely to be or hopefully number one for best salon. You walk 200 meters and you probably won't be. And we do a whole grid layout so salons can see how 100 meters, 200 meters, 500 meters makes a difference to those phrases. Because if you want to rank number one for the whole of Exeter, then you need a better website, better profile to rank across the whole of the town.
Excellent. Thank you.
I've just, Phil, I thought that was fantastic. Thank you so much. For me, it was like understanding the funnels for a start. I've never quite understand it in the same way, so that's brilliant. The importance, we know the importance of Google and SEO, but of course, when you see those percentages, you just realise. My question was going to be about Google review, which you've just said, and we do incentivize. We pay our team a bonus every time they get their name mentioned, and we understand that importance of that Google review. But I love that targeting specific, and that's where, of course, we need to use experts like yourself to help us. And for me, it would be definitely about when I got a new stylist that needs to grow and specializes in something. But again, the remind and retarget, I love all that. Again, you need people to help you do this stuff. But
And
of course,
it's quite a journey. Salons have been with us 18 years.
yeah,
And this,
yeah,
Voodoo being one of them, and there they are on the page there. They always do everything first. Can we do it? Can we do it? Because they love it. Because they become they love the whole idea. Because what we do online happens quickly. We can make a big effect next week. The fact that they brought in £3,600 last week on the new client offer in January is remarkable. So,
yeah.
Doing these things, you can't do them all at once. Start with the most important things. Start with your website and your SEO, but expect to do the rest because you really should do all of it over time.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it's fantastic. And of course, what we focus on at King Connect is the client retention. So we're bringing those clients in, but of course, we've got to make sure we're doing the right job once they're in the salon, and focus on those client retention. So that's what we do, is we look at those sort of numbers to make sure that all those retention figures are all there. But great tips, great information. Thank you, Phil. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Thank you. Thank you.
We've just got one more on the chat. Sorry. Do you have any tips to appear on Google Business Top 3?
Constant work. And I don't mean that to be facetious. It's gonna one quick fix won't fix it. So I showed you a slide which showed what we do. It's on our website. It tells you what we do. If we do a full audit first, make sure the profile is absolutely spot on. All the information is what it needs to be, all the categories, but then constant work every week. Do something, do a bit, upload some pictures, update some stuff. It will start to happen, but Google is a bit of a slow machine. It won't happen overnight. Your website will happen quicker. Websites can dramatically change within 2 months. I've often seen it where we've doubled the number of phrases at number one within the first 3 months. Websites do change quickly. Profiles take a bit longer. You have to just keep plugging away at them.
And when you say about creating an audience, when you said at the start, so for example, a hair extension audience, is that the Facebook pixel?
Yes. So
yes.
Any web company worth their salt should install the Facebook or Meta pixel on your website. It's a little bit of code so that people that visit your website, Facebook will go, I know that person. That's Phil Evans because he's signed in on his phone. So it knows that I'm on the website. It knows what pages I'm looking at. It won't tell the salon owner or the web company. We can't see who's in that audience, but Meta does. Meta's gathering that audience. So later when I say, we'd like to advertise it, our hair extension audience, please, they're ready. The people are there. We can run an advert. They're really good. We do a lot of these, and it's been, if you like, I think the big learning experience for the last 2 years, using these audiences better to drive down the cost, because that's what we're about, trying to bring these clients in at the lowest possible price.
Brilliant. That's great. And someone's just asking on the chat that they didn't register for the last event on the budgets and costs, but we'll send the recording out for this one anyway, won't we? And perhaps put the recording on
the email. The
sign up page. Recordings on. Yeah.
We'll get it out to everybody.
Yeah, that's lovely. Brilliant.
Good. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks that's fantastic. Thanks, Phil. That was really brilliant.
We should see you again soon. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.